like all the buddies, Santa buddies, snow buddies, air buddies.
You know you're getting some dogs dogging around.
So
Yeah.
you have time.
So you
So
can
get
download them.
get that
Can't
OBS
download
out.
it.
So get
Yeah.
that OBS out.
You have to
Pre-record
OBS
that.
it. Nice.
I'm not selling the show.
You're not selling the show at all. I'm over here to sell like I started it like, maybe I will. Okay, yeah. Hello everyone. Welcome to Life is Daijoubu, episode 44. We are your hosts, Cole, Thane, and Skylar. We are here to talk about anime.
I did my hair like an anime character today. In case anyone comments, they could be like, "Wow, his hair looks totally anime."
Does that just mean you didn't do anything to it? Yeah, that's right. We're talking about anime. We look like anime characters. We feel like anime characters. That's how you know this is the real anime podcast. Today we're going to be talking about ReZero, starting life in a new world. I think that's the bottom flavor text title. But that won't be until we get to roughly the halfway-ish part of our show. Before we do that, we're going to be talking about some news like we do. We got some news. Honestly, this is a relatively heavy news week. Not just like anime announcements, but like big news articles that I found. So that'll be fun. And then after that, of course, we're going to talk about our seasonal shows, the shows that we're watching this season, the things that we are liking and the things we are disliking. I don't have any set schedule thing of what you guys want to talk about. I know what I want to talk about, and it's not like a specific show. It's like a broader topic about the seasonal stuff. But we'll get there when we get there. For right now, we got news. And we're going to start with our anime announcements. Here we go. So this one is a manga that's getting an anime adaptation. It's called For Some Reason, I Started Living with a Neat Kunoichi.
Okay.
Yep. There's that. It's interesting because it's got that light novel-esque long title, but it's not an isekai. Well, to my knowledge, it could be an isekai. Next up, we've got Wistoria, Wand and Sword. It's a manga getting an anime. And now this one is a novel. I'm assuming light novel. It didn't say light novel, but I'm assuming. It's called I Am the Only One Who Is Not Attacked in the World Filled with Zombies. Which sounds like an isekai title, but I don't think that one is either. So that's, 4 for 4?
I don't know.
But it didn't last long. This isn't quite an announcement of an anime airing. It's an announcement of a delay anime. It's Quality Assurance in Another World.
Oof.
It's getting delayed to July. So I'm assuming it was probably supposed to be a spring season.
That's ironic.
So is there like a specific Japanese word that these light novels like to use, specifically isekais, that just translates to another world?
Isn't it not isekai?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's isekai.
Isekai, that's what it means. Another world?
Yeah.
It's late, I'm
sorry. I know
sorry.
Tensei is reincarnation because of Mushoku Tensei.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is just isekai. I could be completely wrong.
But like, I guess what I'm trying to get at is thinking of any other medium besides anime. Imagine if there's just an entire genre with almost the same title.
Well, I mean, we were kind of getting there a little bit with some sci-fi stuff. We got Star Wars, Star Trek. I'm sure there's other shows that start with Star.
That's true.
It's just easy, right? You know what you're getting from the title, right? You have the word star in there. You know it's a space.
It's like all the buddies, Santa buddies, snow buddies, air buddies.
You know you're getting some dogs dogging around. Yeah, that's all the main anime announcements I had. We can get into some actual news, and this is actually interesting news. I've got a couple. Thane has a couple, he says. Yeah. They might be some of the ones that I have, so I'll let you go first, Thane.
First off, so there's been a problem with manga leaks.
Oh, shoot, this was one of mine.
Especially with two manga, which is One Piece and Jujutsu Kaisen, because they're really popular. But several of the people who were leaking the manga, I don't know if it was all of them.
Two people. I think that's all of them were two.
Is that the whole operation?
I believe it was just two people.
Yeah, they got arrested.
They were foreigners.
Yeah. Wow. Oh,
Wait,
yeah, they were foreigners.
Foreigners to us or foreigners to Japan?
Foreigners to Japan.
Foreigners in Japan.
So they're like, one of them had a name. I didn't recognize the culture, I guess the name would be from. If I had to guess, it would be South Asia. So like India area.
Yeah.
Straight up a guess though.
So do these gamers do it for clout, or why? I don't get why do it. Because if you throw your name out there, you're getting arrested.
I don't know. All I know
I
is
guess you can't do it for clout.
All I know is one of our friends in the Discord posted a TikTok with a leaked Jujutsu Kaisen chapter, and I almost watched the whole thing. I realized, whoa, this is the leaked chapter.
I wonder if it was these same people doing the Boruto stuff, because I remember for about a month there, excuse me, it comes out monthly. For about like 3 or 4 months there, I remember the Boruto chapters being leaked about a week early, and if I wanted to, I could read those ones, or just wait a week and get the official release. I read a couple of leaked ones because I didn't realize that they were not leaked. It was basically just like a Reddit post. It's a new Boruto chapter. I clicked it and I read it. And then, like, a couple days later, it popped up in, like, the Shonen Jump app, and I was like, oh.
You sailed the seas.
Accidentally.
Yeah. But that just goes to show we can't live like Luffy, always being a pirate.
Does Luffy ever steal stuff?
No, I don't think so.
So he's a bad pirate.
He's a bad pirate.
Yeah, he's more like a superhero.
He's not really doing his job right.
He does piss off the government. He does have a bounty.
He's a pirate police, but not the police.
Yeah.
He's a vigilante.
He's not going to be the king of the pirates because he's not an actual good pirate.
He's king of the straw hat.
Neither was Gold Roger. He had a treasure, but I don't know.
He died in episode 1.
Yeah.
Spoilers, Sky, jeez.
And also, it's finally been a long time coming, but Funimation is finally dead.
This was my other one, actually. I had one more, though, so we're good. Go for it, Thane.
Funimation, I think a year ago, merged into Crunchyroll when they were both bought by Sony. Like, Funimation was first bought by Sony years ago. Then eventually Crunchyroll's parent company was also bought by Sony. So they just kind of decided to merge them together.
So what do we have left then? We have Crunchyroll, High Dive, and then just like
Netflix,
the various,
Hulu.
Netflix, Hulu.
Hulu, yeah.
But would you really count those other ones? Like, High Dive is an anime place, but let's be real. It's not that great.
Yeah.
I know, I subscribe to the Surface. It's not that good.
Is it better than Crunchyroll?
Define better.
Well, I hate Crunchyroll, so
It's worse.
The
player's far worse.
I'm pretty sure Crunchyroll has a better library, a better selection.
So, like, I'll give you an example of the player that really pisses me off with High Dive. I'll start, like, watching Dangers in My Heart. I'm on season 2 because that's what's currently airing. So I caught up with that episode, or I'm caught up with that show, right? But I never watched season 1 with this current High Dive account. And so every time I click continue watching, it starts episode 1, season 1. And I'm just like, no. You know I've watched these other things. Start me there, just like Crunchyroll does. Crunchyroll
like
does the same
Netflix.
thing. Crunchyroll works.
any streaming service does that.
Yeah.
All of the streaming services that you have to sail the seas have that, where they save where you're watching.
Yeah.
How stupid is that, man?
Also, but I also hate how Crunchyroll categorizes things, because when they have another season in like Russian subtitles or Spanish subtitles,
it's so bad.
It'll be like season 17. I was like, what?
It's like their code requires them to put an S and a number after the S.
They need to have better code.
I don't know. It's weird,
Yeah.
dude.
I wonder if Crunchyroll is just so old and so far gone. It's the whole Adobe issue where it's just duct tape over duct tape.
Their
over
website
duct tape.
looks good. So I'm inclined to believe that that couldn't be the case because normally if a website looks bad,
the website
it's HTML.
website
that's
actually does
old.
have, say, English subtitles, Spanish subtitles.
So they're just lazy then.
Yeah, on the apps.
Or they're bad.
It's whoever makes their app. I think it's a third-party
No.
company.
The
that makes
website
the
still
apps.
does the same thing.
It does?
Yeah, it totally
Oh,
does.
God.
Yeah.
It's easier to read because you
Yeah.
have a wider selection
Yeah.
thing.
I will say, of all of the different places I watched Crunchyroll, my cell phone seemed to be the most functional for me.
I do know that on the web browser they have like the skip intro button pop up.
Yeah, they added that a couple years ago. I remember we threw a fit about
Yeah.
that, or we praised
Yeah.
it rather.
They don't have well. We we praised a different website for having it when Crunchyroll
Yeah.
didn't. It's actually a more recent development than you'd think. I think it's within the
Yeah.
past like 6 or 7 months. That said, it's not on the TV. You can't just click the skip button. I guess before we loop back into the Crunchyroll Funimation thing, one top it off with the high dive bad. Like, you know how like you click the back on their
Back arrow.
well, that's one thing. I was complaining about that. This is another thing I'm complaining. This is different. So, if you're trying to rewind a show, right, you go to like the progress bar, right, and you click left with the remote, right? How far back do you think that one click should do?
10 seconds.
10 seconds?
Yeah.
High Dive's like, I'll do 30 to 45 seconds.
Oh, my
And I'm just
God.
like, are you kidding me? And there's no in between. It's either forward or backward 30 seconds-ish at a pop. And so, like, if you want precise, you're not getting it. I think it might have even been a minute, dude. It was a long time it freaking jumps. It's bad. Anyway, yeah. Crunchyroll and Funimation is merging. They basically said F you to all you people that have Funimation digital purchases. Those are getting thrown away.
Yeah.
But, like,
apparently
that
they're
sucks.
getting
Why
thrown
not-
away in April. So
Yeah.
you have
So you
time. So
can
get
download
so
them.
get that
Can't
OBS
download
out.
it.
So get
Yeah.
that OBS out.
You'd have to
Re-record
OBS
that.
it.
Why wouldn't they just let you have those on Crunchyroll? I'm assuming they're just going to absorb the library and make it on Crunchyroll.
They don't have to. That's not a part of their contract. You had a contract with Funimation. Funimation ceasing to
that's-
exist.
I guess you're right, but also, like,
Contract
do you
loosely.
not like your consumers that give you money?
No, they don't. In fact, they want more money. They're upping the price double. At the beginning of next year, the price for Crunchyroll, I believe, is doubling.
So it's $16 now instead of 8 or whatever?
No, it's currently like $4, $5 a month, and it's gonna go up to like $8 to $10 a month.
Oh. Honestly, that's pretty average for streaming service.
Yeah, but like they're literally only doing this now because they're one of the only ones that's actually semi decent.
Remember that game called Monopoly that we learned how to play as children?
Yeah.
And now as adults, you see why it's bad.
Yeah.
Woo. But with Monopoly becomes people that are like Luffy. They're better than Luffy, and they can make things better than the
Then the guy with the monocle.
yeah, than the guy with the
Yeah.
monocle, than the Monopoly man. So
That's his name, isn't it? It's not like Theobald, or is it?
No, his name's
could
like
call him
Mr. Money
Theobald.
I like that
Bags
name.
or something.
Mr.
Actually,
Money-
he doesn't have a monocle.
Scrooge Mick. Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of those
Mandela.
Yeah.
Mandela effects.
You know who does have a monocle?
the peanut guy,
Yeah, Planners Band.
peanut planter.
Yeah,
Does the Pringles guy have one?
he has a mustache.
he's a mustache.
He doesn't have
no
a monocle. But
So what I'm gonna say at High Dive is Disney comes in, buy,
I
get
hope they
acquired,
don't
get
buy High
acquired,
Dive.
buy.
I hope they don't buy High Dive. They
Yeah.
already have their own anime section at this point. That's semi decent.
Yeah,
It's not to the like scale of even High Dive, but it's semi decent because they got the like whatever shows up on Hulu and Disney Plus. Like, what was that show a couple seasons ago that was a Disney Plus exclusive? It was a popular one.
Summer.
Wait,
Bleach.
yeah, Summertime Rendering and Bleach, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, Bleach.
Actually, the people who would buy High Dive, I think, is probably
Dive
Sony.
High.
It's probably Sony.
I
just
mean,
to
yeah,
remove
but then at that point, it's
yeah.
even more of it's literally a
Yeah.
monopoly at that point. They
Yeah.
own all of the anime streaming services.
Just like Microsoft.
Do you think they'll pull out their Hitman and they'll just nuke every single third-party pirated website out there?
I doubt it.
I mean, they're not Nintendo.
It's not that. It's just like
It's all in different
it's like
countries and
it's
stuff.
like a weed. You pull one and 3 more pop up.
Yeah,
Isn't it great?
it's like a
I love how we don't live in the age of torrenting
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Either, by the way, that was a nightmare.
Yeah, torrenting's a
Yeah.
yikes.
You pull one service out, and then another website plants 5 more.
Or you just
True.
find you get lucky. You find a gamer that subscribes to the website, screenshots every panel, and then uploads it.
I wonder what that would be in
Whoever that is, he or she, you're the real one.
So we can re-rent your girlfriend.
Okay, manga bad.
Okay. All right. Last thing I got, and this is the one that I'm most pumped for the implications that it could mean, and I really hope it means the implications that I hope. And it is that Konami is creating its own anime studio called Konami Animation. The first thing that Konami Animation did was the intro to the 7 Spellbounds or whatever that was last
7
season.
Spellblades?
Yeah, that one. So they did that. They did that OP.
They have a lot of IPs.
They sure do. Last weekend, at the Tokyo Dome, so like the big one, there was a big Yu-Gi-Oh event, and there they showed off a 6-minute animation that displayed like 10 to 30 seconds a pop of a bunch of different archetypes within Yu-Gi-Oh and little bite-sized animes of them. Every single one of them was a different art style. Every single one of them, like, clearly depicted cards and the artwork from the cards. And I was literally just freaking out when I was watching this. I want it to be real. And if Konami Animation does this and makes the Fallen of Albaz story a real anime, I will be forever happy.
I mean, it's kind of like low-hanging fruit at this point, right?
You'd think, especially because they showed it. They literally said, look.
He's popping the chubby.
Hey, whoa, handshake. I mean, like, they literally showed the opening scene of the Albaz anime. Like, freaking Ecclesia's up on the balcony and Albaz falls from the sky out of the hole. But it's not just that, though. They got the mecha. They got the mecha stuff with Zeus and Typhon. Then you have, obviously, you got the Dark Magician, Blue Eye stuff they could do. They showed that right at the that was like the first thing they showed. But even more so, like the most popular one of them all is the Sky Striker. Why are you still giggly over there, Sky?
Look, I'll have to tell you after. It's gonna ruin your train of thought.
No, so the last one they showed was the Sky Striker one, which is probably the most like popular of all the Yu-Gi-Oh archetypes. This is the one that even got a manga. And that manga is like a 3-volume manga, and they finished it just recently. Yeah, very cool. I really hope it becomes a thing. I can't. We gotta. What's happening?
What are you giggling about, you giggling boy?
They was like, whoa, you look out, he's popping a chub, and then just full on grabs his hawk.
Why are you saying that? You could shut up about that.
You asked me what I was laughing about.
You did ask. Oh, anyway, Konami, please. I would forever love you. I already buy enough of your cardboard. I buy enough of your cardboard. Can you please just do this for me? That's all I had for news. Well, this season, guys, this season of anime has been.
Oh yeah, and if you consider VTubers anime, yeah, the whole Slentotsky thing, yeah.
Oh yeah, she came back or something.
She came back as Dogi Bird and Niji Sanji bad.
Really cool though how she came back.
Yeah, stop laughing.
How she was over like probably like 100,000 plus viewers in her stream.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Imagine you're the Super Bowl last night, right? That's not even 100,000 people in that arena.
Really, it's not.
No.
Wow.
It's close to like 30,000, if that.
Oh, yeah.
Like most arenas.
Let's give you a number.
Most arenas are 20,000, so I'm gonna say 30,000 for the new Vegas one.
Those football stadiums hold a lot more than. You're thinking of like indoor. I think indoors are between like 16 to 20.
Regardless, it's still less than 100,000. I do know that for sure. And just imagine, though, like you have an arena that can hold 100,000 people. There's just one person standing in the middle just telling everybody about their day. That's more or less what that stream was, right? I don't know what the stream was. I'm just saying it was a just chatting stream, right? She had 100,000 concurrent people at a Just Chatting stream.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And the something that's worse today, as of recording this, she was doing a Neopet stream, and then Niji Sanji decided to use one of their talents to basically make a statement on there. I haven't watched the statement, but it's like, wow, you couldn't even make a statement on Twitter or on your own channel.
Yikes.
It's horrible look.
So what's the average arena?
I don't know that, but the Super Bowl last year had 67,827
In attendance?
Yes, which is an F ton of people. But you'd still have 33 more thousand.
Yeah, totally.
Which
And,
is
like,
insane.
That was like at roughly an hour length. She had roughly 100,000. I think it peaked at 130, which is bonkers insane. But yeah, congratulations on that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like is that a record? I don't know what the most viewed stream is.
On Twitch, it was like 3 million.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
millions?
It was Fortnite. It was
Fortnite.
I think it was
What
a
the freak?
Mexican streamer, Fortnite guy.
Oh, really?
What is he
Wasn't-
doing, like a collab or something?
It was just one of the live Fortnite events.
Yeah.
What
and
the
he just streamed that.
3 million.
Let me look up the exact record. I don't think that YouTube has surpassed that as far as live concurrent viewers. But let's do Twitch. Live.
That's crazy, dude. I did not think it was in the millions. I thought we were just in the 1,000 or 100,000.
3.44 million.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
There's one dude hanging out playing Fortnite.
That is insane.
That's more than like 20% of the states in the United States of America.
That's more than our entire. That's 3 of our state almost.
Well, we're getting close to 2 at this
Oh,
point.
there's a lot of Spanish, like people from Spain, Twitch streamers that really got popular last year.
Yeah, it blew up down there.
Yeah.
Streaming really blew up down there. But anyway, it is time. Let us talk a little bit about the shows that we are watching this season. And for me specifically, the thing that I wanted to talk about is how I am struggling to watch the shows that I want to watch. But the shows that I really want to watch, I watch them like literally the day they come out, and I am excited about them, and I watch them, and I'm sad that they're over. I'll tell you the shows that I'm like behind on because of the fact that I'm not super excited about. I've got High Card Season 2. I've literally only watched 2 episodes of that. I think I'm going to watch 1 more episode, and if it doesn't suck me in, I'm done with it. There's another one. Chain Soldier's kind of there, too. Like, I read the manga, and it was a lot of fun, but the animation quality is nowhere near as good as the manga's, like, action shots. And so, like, I'm technically only 1 episode behind. Mentally, I'm like 3 episodes behind because the last 2 episodes or 3 episodes I kind of just had up, and I was just like on my phone. One of the those episodes.
I did that with High Card. It's sad.
Metallic Rouge is one I do want to get back into, but I think that's going to be a binging one. I've only watched the first 2 episodes still. I'm 3 episodes behind at this point. But like I said, I think it's going to become, I'm going to wait where there's more episodes near the end of the season. Yeah. So those are like, I see those pop up in my feed and I go, I'm not really into watching them. Meanwhile, I start watching other shows like Delicious and Dungeon. I got on that train, and that's a lot of fun because it's dubbed day in and day out. I started watching this other one. It's called... Shoot, I don't know the name of it. But it's this old, like, 40-year-old office worker who, like, buys a bird. And then the bird is actually magic and, like, take him to another world. And, like, he brings, like, things from Japan and takes to the other world and sells them there and makes a business over there. But he still lives back and forth in both worlds. It's an isekai, obviously, which is why I was intrigued at first. But it was fun. It was a fun little... I only watched 1 episode so far. It was a 40-minute episode. But it was kind of fun. And there's another show I want to watch. I don't remember what it was called either, but it's in my watch list now. And I'm quite interested in it. And so it's gonna be interesting, my end of the season, I think. How is your guys' seasons going so far?
Okay, I guess. I dropped 1 show because I already read the manga. and I realized the story's not very good. It's called Tales of Wedding Rings.
Oh, you read that manga?
Yeah, it's also one of those manga that just keeps going.
Oh.
And it just stopped a long time ago.
How are you like caught up with that manga?
Yeah.
What chapter? Do you know, like 200s?
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. It's like in the somewhere in 200s.
Nice. But you've only dropped the one?
Yeah. The other ones I've been kind of watching on and off. If I watch, I'm only watching like 2 anime episodes a day, and it's like I'll just pick a show, watch it.
So that's you don't watch it like when the episodes come out. You just kind of like let them build up so you can do like 2-ish episodes a day.
Something like that. I usually just watch one episode. I don't know. Yeah.
My season's going about the same as your guys's. It's just like there's some shows that I'm like, cool, I'm really into this, excited. And then there's other shows where I'm like, man, I don't want to click play. I really don't want to click play. And then when I do click play, I find myself doing anything else but watch the show. And it's sad.
It's actually way off from what we said. It's chapter 79.
Oh, so it's...
Yeah.
You were watching that as well, Sky, weren't you?
Yeah, but I dropped that after episode 2, I believe.
I see.
It just, wasn't for me.
See, I don't think I've dropped anything yet, but I'm really close at this point.
I've dropped too many.
I didn't have a lot to start this season, though.
That's true.
You had a ton this season to start with.
I guess on an up, one that I'm really enjoying is called The Sign of Affection. So it's about a deaf girl that does sign language, and she falls in love with a guy, and it's really fun. I think I've talked briefly about it, but it's really fun learning and watching how they communicate with each other. And it's one of those things where it's hard to do, but I enjoy how they do it because she doesn't speak, but you still hear her voice in her own head.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so there's lots of text and lots of text bubbles on the phone because that's how they communicate a lot. And then they'll do sign language, and then that gets translated too. So anyway, I don't know. It's really interesting, and it makes me really take a step back and look at how important communication is. And if you can't hear, that's rough.
The text on the phone's like translated, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine watching that without having translated?
I know they're typing kanji, and then that gets translated just like it normally does. But then they do sign language, and I don't know how different American sign language is to Japanese sign language.
Does that get translated, the sign language?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, into the English. So, like I said, it's really fun, but really makes you like appreciate your senses a little bit more.
Yeah, that was the one that I was like, well, I saw a silent voice. Do I need to watch another one? But then I've seen more bits and pieces of it since, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I do want to kind of watch it. But, like, there's a bunch of other things that I've, like, all of a sudden become interested in. Maybe it's because, like, this season was filled with so many season 2s that I was like, oh, maybe I just want something new, right?
I don't think it's a phenomenal show, but I think it's one that you could watch and enjoy.
Yeah. Is it like, you know those, like, typical 12-episode rom-com anime that you can binge in a weekend if you really wanted to? Is it something like that would keep you entertained for a weekend? Because that's how I did, like, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. I did that, like, in a weekend.
I feel like the plot for that one's a little bit more interesting.
Oh, okay.
Because this one is, like, not a lot happens between each episode, but it's, like, enough progression where you're like, huh. Okay.
How about, like, compared to, like, My Dress Up Darling? I did that one on a weekend once as well.
That one's still far better.
It's more interesting as well.
Yeah, because it's just, I don't know. If you like the characters, you could probably binge it, but I'm not in love with the characters. I'm more in love with the concept of what's going on.
Nice.
I'm not selling the show.
You're not selling the show at all. I'm over here to sell, like, I started it like, maybe I will. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm not.
I just don't want to get you hyped for something. Where
That's
you
a good
watch,
point.
You watch episode 1, you're like, wow, this is just, it's a slow burn.
I appreciate that. I guess for like settling my expectations. What is there's a word phrase for that?
Just taking your
urethra.
Taking your what's the word I'm looking for? Taking your happy can-do attitude of like, I should try the show. They're just squashing it. I don't know what the word is.
Like
There's
testicles.
a word there.
I think it's tempering your expectations.
That sounds about. That
that's
sounds
the
right.
actual phrase.
It's late. That sounds great. I'll take it.
Late and
I'll take 3.
Well, I think that does it for our seasonal talk. I think next time we'll probably actually like talk about a dumpy. We'll straight up just be like, all right, time to talk about the dumpies of the season. And then a time after that will probably be the ones more so that we like. And I think by then, by the third week, the third episode from now will be the
Finale.
the review, the finale. So, without further ado, we're going to be talking about ReZero, specifically episodes 1 through 11,
Arcs 1 and 2.
or if you're watching the director's cut, it's episodes 1 through 6. So, ReZero is about a kid that gets isekai'd to another world.
No reason or rhyme. Bro just bought some
That's
noodles and he's there.
Literally my
He's
worst
heading
part
towards a
about this
road.
thing.
You think he's gonna get hit by a truck. There's no truck.
Yeah, I honestly, that's my least favorite part about the whole show is the fact that he's just boom there. I hate that.
The writer's like, I want to make an isekai just because I want to put the word isekai in there. No relevancy.
Basically. And like, not like spoiling anything farther ahead, but you do get bits and pieces of his previous life here and there. It's nothing like major. You just get little bits of context and stuff. That said, I still hate how it's all of a sudden just boop gone. There needs to be a reason in my mind, right? There needs to be something, and death is obviously the most easy way for them to do it. That's why it's done so many times. But even if like all of a sudden like the god of the isekai world shows up and says, "Yo, come on," that would have been even better. It'd have been a little cheesy, sure, but anyway, we're getting off track. So this boy's name is Subaru. Subaru gets he appears in another world and he goes through his day, encounters many different people, and he ends up dying within the first day. He really just failed, but luckily for him, he's got this power that can return him to a previous point that randomly sets itself as well. And after he dies, and so he basically goes into a time loop, solving his problems until he can get them how he wants them to be by dying multiple times and figuring out little pieces as he dies every single time and as he lives every single time. Super fun. Big fan. I love this kind of a storytelling. Time loops are so fun. I think they're done incredibly well. I've often heard ReZero compared to Steins Gate, and I would agree that it's got similarities. I would say it's more like fantasy Steins Gate that you don't have to get any explanation as to why the time travel stuff even works, basically.
It's a curse.
Yeah, it's a curse, and well, I don't know if you learn more about it, if I'm being honest. I mean, you get bits and pieces here and there as they go, but
this novel's still going.
It's still going. But anyway, yes, episodes 1 through 11, so let's stick to there, because I think, Skylar, you probably only watched those episodes. Thane, did you watch past those episodes?
No.
I watched not just a little bit past those episodes. I watched way too much of this show over the past couple weeks. I am currently on episode 4 of season 2. I've watched both of the movies. I've watched way too much of this show. The first thing I wanted to talk about before really diving into the story was just the differences between the director's cut and the actual episodes of the anime. Because I knew that there was the director's cut when this is my second time watching it. The first time watching, I just watched the normal episodes, and I knew there was a director's cut, but I didn't really care enough to watch it. In hindsight, it doesn't add too much, but the animation quality is far better. So if you wanted to just make sure you're watching a pretty visually appealing show, then you just watch the director's cut. And if you're really in the binging mindset, then director's cut works really well too, because each episode is essentially 2 episodes smashed into one. The other thing that takes up more time is here and there they have moments where characters will pause in contemplation for maybe an extra second longer than they did in the TV show, which I guess just gives things more weight. I honestly did not even notice that was a thing that they were doing until I looked past, like, after the fact to see what had changed, and then I was like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. So the moral of that story is you don't necessarily need to watch the director's cut. You're not really missing out on information or extra relevancy to the plot. You still get the same story. But yeah, that's the differences. What did you guys think about the show?
I thought the show was paced incredibly well. It felt like a video game, because it's like you get in, you get hit with action, then you get hit with the premise, and you're like, oh, it's one of these. And then I really like how right in the very beginning, like the first couple episodes, they show what happens when he takes alternate paths. I feel like a lot of these time loop shows, they do that, but it's almost like they follow the same path with the time loop, and it has the same outcome, which I guess in a sense this one kind of does too. But Subaru takes different paths in the first couple episodes, like completely different paths, and he's like, oh wow, wait, so this happens if I do this, or this person shows up.
I love how he points that out.
That's really freaking cool. Because like I said, some of the time loop shows that I've seen, it doesn't always work that way. Or at least if it does, they don't show it. Like for one, I guess an example of one I really like, it's called The Edge of Tomorrow. It's a movie with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, based off of the All You Need Is Kill manga. I don't know if that's up here or not, but
it's not up here.
Anyway, they just leave out some context because they can't show you every single lifetime that somebody goes through. But like I said, in this show, and they do it several times, with different mini arcs that are within it, where they show you different alternate paths. It's really, really fun. I really, really like that.
I love how when things don't change, they just let you figure it out, right? Like they just cut to the next scene. And, like, you go, oh, I've already seen all the stuff that happens in between. That stuff didn't change, so I don't need to see it again. I think that's nice. It basically just says, like, yeah, come on, you got it, viewer. You can figure it out. Yeah. And we can, right? It's not like an easy, it's not a hard thing to figure out. It's just really nice that they didn't try to hold our hand through that and be like, oh, and now we're going to do the thing we did in episode 2. No, it just cuts right to it, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it would be,
which helps the pacing.
Right. It would be incredibly boring. Like, think about video games. Essentially, this is what a roguelike is, which I've recently played and realized that I don't like them as much as I thought I did.
Which one did you play?
I played Dead Cells.
Oh, that's a roguelike?
Yeah. It's really fun. But after 3 hours of just dying and retrying and dying and retrying.
Good scrub.
I know. If I was better at the game, I'd probably enjoy it more. But it's so devastating when you get really far into a run and then you die and you're just like, I have to do it all over. It's like Nazi zombies when you get to level 25 and then you die with the maxed ray gun and whatever else. It's just devastating. And you're like, ugh. But anyway, how that is relevant is you don't want to watch the same thing over and over again. Imagine if we had to watch, like when in the second arc when he gets to the mansion, those 4 days over and over and over again, every single scene.
They just show the bits that do change.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Yeah, which, I mean, I feel like any storyteller would just be like, yeah, that's how you should do it.
Totally, yeah. It's something that you don't think about because you assume that's how it should be. But when you're hyper-analyzing things, you go, oh, yeah, of course they're doing this. Because if they did it the other way, it'd be bad. It'd be bad storytelling at that. Yeah, it's fun.
Can I tell you guys the first thing that I thought of when I saw this?
Yeah.
Is episode 1 when Amelia shows up, when Millie shows up. First thing I wrote down in my notes is literally, I want Thane to read it. Can you read my first note I took?
my booby mouse pad girl. Yeah, the one that freaking broke open.
It got destroyed.
Yeah.
That is my association with the show. I'd never seen it, but for like 3 or 4 years, Thane had a booby mouse pad of Amelia. That's all I knew about this show. Yeah. So when I saw it, I was like, I've seen you before.
Yeah, thanks Crunch for making a terrible quality mouse pad.
How long did you have it? Like a year?
That. Yeah, and then it broke open, and then it's like
her tits fell out.
Yeah,
she was padding.
the cheap mouse pad I got with just the regular gel, no character on it. I've had it for like 2 years, I think. It works fine. It has not broken open.
Were you
like?
Never mind.
The boobies were they were the downfall of the mouse pad.
It was just the fabric on it. Like the fabric was really like
just different.
Yeah, soft, like very thin. This one is like thick. Like they need to make it with that stuff. Whatever I got this mouse pad with, because I've had a normal one for years.
So I think probably the best thing that ReZero does is makes you want to watch more. It's one of those classic like thriller, high intense shows, similar to things like Breaking Bad, that basically keeps your attention the entire time to the very end, and then they hit you with a and by the way, and then you go, oh, by the way what? By the way what? What now? What now?
Play next.
Play next. Exactly, yeah. And that's why I think it does such a good job. I think you hit it right out of the park, right? It's the pacing. The pacing is what does this show so well. I think it does have interesting pacing later on without saying anything about the story. And I think that might have been what made me drop it forever ago, halfway through season 2. I'm actually not at the part where I dropped it back then. And I don't remember how the pacing was, but I feel like it does slow down enough where it's kind of like, not as high intense action as it was. But I mean, it's still, I don't know. Regardless, season 1, or even just this first half of season 1, it is peak. It is super, super well done. Very, very good. For the people who did continue on with the rest of season 1 or have seen it all, I think that statement holds true for the rest of the season as well. It is just, the entire season 1 is just, it's really good. It's peak. It really is. I think, I don't know. I really like the mansion arc specifically. Like, the first arcs are great because it just introduces you to the world as well as his power. And the mansion arc is really where you start realizing some of the detriment of his power, some of the shortcomings of his power. And the thing that hits me the most every single time is that first 4 days that he has at the mansion, things are going great, dude. He's having a great time. He's hanging out with Rem and Rom. He's learning the mansion. He gets to hang out with Amelia. It's going super well with her. He's invited her to the village, and they're going to go have a fun time in the village, and then he dies. And then all of those great things and all those great memories and all of those things those people thought about him, poof, gone. He still has them, but they're gone. They're not there anymore for those other people. And that's incredibly brutal and heart-wrenching to me. Every single time I see that, I go, oh, freak. All of that good stuff, they're not going to remember.
All of that progress.
That progress. Wiped. Yep. Yes, because it's...
He lost. He got a game over.
Because it's a roguelike.
Yeah, it's a roguelike. That's I was going to bring that up too. That's one of my favorite parts about these time loop shows. And all the ones I've seen, I feel like I've done a very good job of portraying how the time loop affects the main character. Like in this one, Subaru is like, damn, he wakes up one day, he's just like, F. I hate everything. I'm done.
Yeah.
I quit. Like my brain is fried. I'm so sad. I don't want to do this again. And then, obviously, he picks himself back up. But thinking about all the other shows that do it, like Groundhog Day does it, where Bill Murray just kills himself as many times in a row as he can in many different ways. Edge of Tomorrow does the same thing, where you just see how the time loop, Steins Gate, same thing. You see how the time loop affects the main character's brain of doing the roguelike, playing the video game, and trying to win, and failing miserably over and over and over again. And I really like how they always portray that, because if you think about it, like Chloe said, when Subaru, the characters lost the memories of him, the days that they spent together. It is heart-wrenching. It sucks when you lose the progress and have to start over.
Like, I already find it hard enough to build a relationship with a person. Imagine if he doesn't reset that every time because you messed up the dialogue, essentially.
One thing that this show didn't do, or at least I didn't catch it, is I feel like there's always a scene or a couple scenes in these time loops where they're trying to, oh, wait, never mind. Okay, that's why, because they wrote it in where he can't talk about his power. Whereas in other time loop shows, they're like, oh, that door's going to open and Mrs. Figglehorn's going to walk through and offer me a piece of toast, and then the phone's going to ring. Like, they go through and try to convince the person. But that's right. He can't do it because he'll have a heart attack or something.
That said, that is one of my issues with the show is every now and then he does kind of talk about it, and none of the other characters are like, yeah, whatever. I don't like that. Every now and then you get that, and they're just like, okay. And I get it. Like, they have to progress the story, right? But I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of lazy. They do try to prove him, though, sometimes, and he does try to, like, prove his I guess, loyalties, right? Yeah. But for the most part, it just feels like sometimes he's just, like, out loud speaking about his powers, and other characters like, I guess I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
I know the first half of this anime focuses mostly on Rem and Rom, but I thought that arc was incredible with those two. That was so good.
It was real good.
Ram, or is it Rom?
I say Rom.
Yeah,
that's what they said in the dub anyway.
Rem and Rom.
Spelled like Ram.
Also, I called the doggy when I saw the doggy. The little
doggy. Knew the doggy?
Yeah. Well, because I didn't pick up on it. I didn't pick up on it on the first time, the first go around when the doggy bites him. But the second time when he's like having all the people touch him and the whole he like smacks his butt or whatever, they do like a fake shot where they show the old man's face for a little bit longer, where they're trying to get you to think that it's the old man. But I'm like, we've never seen this guy once on our freaking the entire time. They haven't shown this man at all. And then it shows the doggy again, and it bit him, and I was like, it's the freaking dog.
This being my second watch through, I was able to pick up on some of that stuff that they did very well with foreshadowing. The first time he gets bit by the dog, he makes a pretty big deal about it.
Does he?
Like, it starts bleeding all over the place kind of thing. He has to get a bandage for it, and like, it's a pretty big deal that he got bit by this dog. But you kind of just go, okay, whatever. That just happens when you hang out with a dog or play with a dog or whatever. There's another really, really big one that I find very, very interesting because it happens. It's one of those reset moments, right, where you get this great character development that you get in one reset, but it goes away in another reset, which is really interesting. It's also a sense of foreshadowing. It's the first time that Subaru says to Rem that he's feeling demonically inspired, right? And then Rem goes, huh? Like, why that or whatever? And, they have the little conversation. And Rem all of a sudden starts really taking a like to him. He's like, oh, shoot, maybe he is on our side. Maybe he's pretty chill. It's because he was like, demons are chill. And then you go, demons are chill,
Yeah, that was really fun for me, too. Because, I didn't really pick up on the fact that they were demons. They don't really allude to it, just that they can use magic.
All. Yeah. Literally, that's a foreshadowing moment that you don't get unless you watch it twice. 100%. Which was a lot of fun, honestly. It made watching this show a lot more fun than I expected it to be, which helped me binge it as fast as I did.
I think the other character that's still a mystery to me, that obviously if I watch more, hopefully there's more character development. But Betty, man, she's freaking awesome. I love Betty.
Baco, yeah. She's chill.
She's just there.
I love how he just walks into her room whenever he feels like it. He's just like, I know which door. She's like, I hate you.
She's like, why the F are you in my library? Just leave.
She's freaking funny. Oh,
I'm like, oh man, this show's a lolly. Wow. Ow. I'm just joking.
And that's Subaru jokes about that too, right? He goes, "Oh yeah, I figured I'd find a little lead eventually."
Yeah.
It's crazy how much happens in this show without it feeling like a lot happens at the same time, because the episodes we watch takes place, I think, within a week total. I mean, you have the first day essentially, which is the first 3 or 4 episodes, and the rest of the episodes are within the next 7-ish days, right? 4, 5, 6 days. I think that's one downfall with this, but I also think they portray it okay enough because of the whole resets and stuff, and his relationship building with these other people. He still has those thoughts about these people, but they don't have it of him, obviously. And you can see that occasionally, that they clearly don't have those same relationships that they build. That said, I do think that these relationships that they build tend to build faster than they feel like they should if these people are being reset. That's one issue I have. It's one of those things you kind of have to just look past with a time loop story, or else you're just never going to be happy with the way the characters are developing with each other, the relationships and stuff, because the relationships would literally never grow. They would just always be the same, pretty much.
I think another fun detail they did, and this comes specifically because of the hierarchy of where they are, but the first time Subaru was like, hey, let me work here, and that's how he connects with Rem and Rom. And then the next, I can't remember if it was Millie or Rem or Rom.
It was Amelia. It was like, why'd you do this?
Yeah, she's like, why didn't you just ask to be a permanent guest?
And he's like, oh, shoot.
So he does that next time, but then Rem and Rom don't give him the time of day.
Not
They're
at
just
all.
like, we can't be friends with you, guy.
Yeah, you're just one of the dudes that are
You're just
slouching here.
Yeah, I'm just here to clean your room. I thought that was really fun because it goes back to that whole gamer thing where it's like, you may, there's all these different paths you can take, but if you want to go down path A, you gotta be a butler. You can't be a guest.
Yep. It's really cool. Really clever little writing. And I think I just like how it expands on that kind of time loop stuff that you don't see very much in other shows. You do see bits and pieces of it, but you don't see it affect things on a personal level rather than a world level. Most of these other stories are trying to go world level. This is more of a personal level kind of a story, which is fun. Like thinking back to all you need is kill. Every decision there is basically to save the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's never like, oh, I want to decide to do this because I want to hang out with this person. It's never that. I guess it's the perks of telling a longer form story, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're able to explore that kind of stuff a little bit more.
I think that's one of the reasons why I really like the movie adaptation of All You Need Is Kill, because you get more time than the manga. Plus, I don't know, it's fun to see it in motion, and you get to see the scene. I don't know if that makes any sense. Manga's still really good though.
So, I guess, do you guys have any final thoughts on this show before I ask a final question?
Good.
I'll give it an 8.5.
8.5? And Dane says it's good?
Yeah.
Are you guys going to continue to watch this show?
Probably.
Yes.
Watch up to the third season whenever that comes out.
I think it's summer this time. This year sometime. I know it's this year. I think it's summer, though.
I probably should have kept going.
I actually looked at it's not confirmed, but
Oh, it isn't?
no.
I thought it was confirmed for this year.
No, I looked it up. They said it's just been announced. That's it.
I-
Might be fall. I don't know.
I basically watched this entire show in one day.
Oh, really?
Besides the first episode. Yeah, because I was sick, so I was just
That's right. Yeah.
I just watched the whole thing, and it flew by. It was great.
Yeah, I remember when I first watched the show, I binged it pretty quickly. I think I binged it even faster this time around. I think part of that might have been just because I wanted to see new things rather than see some of the old stuff again. That said, I was still just as enthralled because there was some things that I had completely forgotten and some things that I knew and I knew it was coming, but I wanted to see what changed or what I pick up because it is the second time around. Overall, super fun. The final question I have for you gentlemen is, who is best girl?
Okay, I'll say it. I don't remember his name. It's Raru, Lord Raru, the clown dude.
Roswell?
Roswell.
He's
yeah.
best girl?
No, I think I'm gonna have to pick Millie. Even though we don't get a lot of her, I really, really like her personality. Like right when we meet her, where she's like, "Damn, I have stuff to do, but I'm gonna help this dead guy. And it's not because I want to or I need to, and you don't owe me anything, dead guy. But like, I'm gonna help you anyway." It was really cool. I had a great first impression with her. So
The blonde chick who you see in the flashback at one of the episodes.
For half a second.
I was
Yeah.
confused, by the way. I don't think we've ever seen her or saw her since. It was just there.
No, she's a flashback thing.
I think she's a tease. Like, hey, who's that?
That's what I said. I was like, who are you?
Yeah, it's one of those, like, you'll probably see this person later kind of things. That's what you're picking, though, is her? That's
Yeah.
best girl?
Yeah.
I pick Amelia as well.
I don't want to say you wasted your pick, Thane, but
I could waste my pick any way I want.
that's true. You are a man.
Best girl is the lady who likes to see guts. She cuts people.
Oh,
open.
the creepy
Yeah.
creepy lady. I don't
Yeah.
remember her name. She slices bellies.
Yeah.
She has a very revealing outfit.
Yeah.
She's a witch.
I don't think she is, but I like the connotation you put into
She's
that.
an assassin.
She's an assassin.
Yeah, I definitely vote Amelia, though. Amelia's fun. I agree. I like her personality, and I like her design better than I like the other girls. It's pretty easy to pick it because of that.
Rem and Rom are just the Fire Emblem character.
That is split up into two. I do love Rem and Rom's like dynamics when they're together. I think it's so funny when they're like talking to each other, like, "Wow, Rem, this guy's a pervert." He's like, "Wow, Rom, this guy's a pervert."
They just
Super
echo each
funny.
other.
Yeah, it's hilarious. That pretty much wraps up our show, though, for today. But before we go, it is that fateful time where we pick another show to watch over these next 2 weeks. And I believe it is Thane's time to pick the show. Thane, what do you got for us?
Picking Konosuba.
Oh,
Season
Konosuba?
1.
Let's go. I
Season
like
3's next season.
That's a good pick.
Best time to get caught up.
Konosuba's a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I'm excited. I thought about picking Konosuba as well at some point because I knew season 3 was coming out and I wanted a refresher as well, but I decided to do ReZero instead because I wanted to. I knew I wanted isekai, but looks like I get double isekai, so it's a win.
Should I pick an isekai in
You
a
should
couple
pick
weeks
an
too?
isekai next time.
Yeah. Bet you're gonna pick slime person.
That's a good one, but it's 22 episodes.
Yeah, you'd have to split that one in half too. I thought about picking that this time around actually because I knew, like I said, I wanted an isekai. Cool. So next time you see us, we will be talking about Konosuba as well as the seasonal shows and the news that we have over the next couple of weeks. But until then, have a great life, everybody. See ya.
Bye.